Welcome back, it's 9. We have 3 major topics to discuss today. We are going to be talking about a PlayStation conference happening in China. We are going to be talking about a new trademark for Soho engine and what that could entail. And lastly, we're going to be talking about Sony's continued efforts with Japanese indie creators and their new sponsorship. Now, before we get into that, if you have not subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to get notified about all my upcoming videos, and hit the like button. It helps the channel a ton. Now let's get right into this, starting with this PlayStation China conference. So this comes straight from pushsquare.com, and it's titled PlayStation China to host press conference next week. So Sony will be hosting a press conference in China next week with China Hero Project titles likely to appear. The platform holder confirmed that the online showcase will debut on 29th of April at 11 a.m. CST. Figure out what your time zones are the equivalent of. You'll be able to watch the broadcast live on various platforms, including Weibo, Bilibili, and TikTok, although obviously it'll be aimed at the market in Asia, so probably not going to be in English. Now, if you're wondering, well, what could this possibly be about? Like, what kind of games are we going to see? Well, the China Hero Project social media did post about the event and asked its followers to guess which game will give you an update on this year. So titles like Lost Soul Aside are part of the China Hero Project, which supports domestic developers. Now, it's important to note that if you guys remember, RPG Black Myth Wukong was a big showcase that a lot of people got excited about, and it's curious. Maybe we are going to see Sony pick this project up and add it to its portfolio of games. We'll see what happens, but I really think that we might get a couple surprises here. Nothing I can really guess on just because I'm not that familiar with China Hero Project. I really am not, right? Like, I don't know too many of their titles. I know the odd one here and there, but even so, like, I'm not going to be able to give you a detailed breakdown, but it would be pretty awesome if they picked up Black Myth Wukong, given how good that game looks and the reception that it got when everybody saw it. Now on to our next topic, and this also comes from Push Square, titled PS5 Fans Ponder What Sony's Soho Engine Could Be. And this is a very interesting article. I really like this one. So this was spotted by Gematsu. Originally, Sony registered a trademark for a mysterious Soho engine in Europe last year, and it's since followed that up with the documentation in Switzerland and New Zealand. So there's very curious and peculiar situation here where they've basically created this new engine, or at least what we believed it to be. So many of PlayStation's first-party developers have their own unnamed internal technology that they use to make games. If you guys know Guerrilla Games, they have the Decima engine, which they used for Horizon Zero Dawn, and this was also licensed out to Kojima Productions, and they created Death Stranding with that. So the name Soho Engine is a throwback to Team Soho, which is the former name of London studio that we know as now, and they were best known for their work on The Getaway. They obviously did iPet and Blood and Truth, but the biggest thing they did, which in my opinion is The Getaway. So could this possibly be a hint towards us seeing something in the Getaway universe? Maybe we make a return to this IP? I don't know, but we do know that London Studio is working on a brand new next-gen IP for the PlayStation 5. This could very well be powered by Soho Engine. I think that could be the case, but new IP, not likely The Getaway, maybe a spiritual successor to that, or maybe not, maybe something totally different, but kind of in the same realm of gameplay and stuff like that, obviously, for the next generation. I mean, last time we saw a Getaway game was so long ago, so obviously it's going to be nothing like that. It's going to evolve quite a bit, but it would be an interesting addition to their portfolio if this is indeed the case. We covered a job posting a while back for London Studio, and it's looking like it's going to be a bigger scale game, AAA scale. So I imagine that it could be plausible that they're going to use this new engine, the Soho engine, but they question whether this is created by London Studio, just given the size of the team. I don't know. There's a lot of questions still up in the air. We don't really know too much about it, and I'm not going to speculate on it too much because I really don't know what else I could add to this specific conversation. Now on to our last topic. This comes from PSU.com, and it's titled Japanese Indie Creator Hub Asobu is now sponsored by Sony. Isn't that crazy? We're going to really enjoy this one as it's going to give us a throwback to the Bloomberg article that was written by Jason Schreier. Now, if you don't know what Asobu does, Asobu provides creators with a place to share ideas and work on projects and is based in Shibuya, Tokyo. And they've put out a tweet. We'll read the exact tweet. It says, "Very happy to announce that PlayStation is coming on board as an official Asobu sponsor, a clear sign of their continuing efforts to reach out to and support Japanese indies," which, I mean, this is pretty direct, guys. This is pretty much saying, hey, there's been a lot of speculation and talks and everything happening after that Bloomberg article, and one by one, they're just knocking off those pillars that were really trying to put PlayStation down. And I'm just saying, from perspective of looking on the outside, seeing how everyone's reacting, seeing how PlayStation reacted to this news, and how they have continued to show that that's not the case, right? So this is another piece of evidence to show that they have not abandoned smaller Japanese devs, and definitely not indies altogether. I mean, you don't have to look further than their PlayStation channel, where they just post tons and tons of indie studios games. And I can tell you right now, I actually know somebody who is developing indie titles for PlayStation, and yeah, they say that they are heavily supported on this. So it's not them turning their back in any way, shape, or form. So let's just get that out of the way altogether. And this also solidifies that to be a fact as well, right? So we know that them sponsoring them is going to absolutely show more support, and they're going to be able to do more with them. Overall, I'm pretty happy about this. I think this is a lot of good news coming out with PlayStation. It's been a crazy week for PlayStation. We've seen so much good news come out. You know, we've had interviews with Naughty Dog. We've seen new partnerships. We've seen Sony come out and say, hey, we're still working on the cloud gaming side of things. There's a lot of good news coming out, right? Obviously, PlayStation has made their share of mistakes, right? With the whole store closing, and then they backed up on that, which I'm glad they did, which we got to give them credit. But at the same time, the same way I would be hard on any other company and saying you shouldn't have made that decision in the first place, we're going to say that here too. But I'm glad to see that they recognize that and they doubled back on that. So that's what I think is the important thing here, is that while we did get all this bad news, this barrage of bad news or alleged bad news that came out, we see that that is not the entire story, and that Sony has acknowledged their mistakes and backed up on it as well. So that's all you can ask from them, right? Is for them to acknowledge what we want and for them to deliver on those things. Ultimately, very happy about this partnership, very happy about what their plans are going forward. But that's all I have for you guys in today's video. I'd love to hear from you. What do you think we're going to see at this PlayStation China conference? Do you think that we're going to see some really exciting titles, some new surprises? What do you think of this Soho engine? What do you think the game's going to be that uses it? And which studio do you think is going to use this? And lastly, how do you feel about Sony sponsoring this Japanese indie creator hub, Asobu? Let me know in the comments. And as always, if you have not subscribed already and you want to keep up with all the latest PlayStation news, and then on the side, every now and again, some other games industry news, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to get notified about all my upcoming videos, and hit the like button. It helps the channel a ton. You can follow me on Twitter and Twitch. Links will be in the description. And share this video with a friend. I will talk to you all on the next one. Take care.